Hey everybody, welcome to the Shifty Sports Network. This is, I believe, week 8, no 7. I think it's week 8 of college football, and we are going to look and see what all I like for Saturday. Um, Sorry to get this out a little late, guys. Yesterday and today are a little slim, but I am 5-0-1, and then I've got as far as Thursday, and then I know that 0 was actually the Boise State first half spread of 4. um, so 5-0-1. Um, but today's, I'm not too big on trying to say what will happen between South Florida Temple. If I had to guess, I'd probably say anybody for Cal going over the number of yards that they're supposed to, passing, rushing, maybe receiving, depending on who's playing. But for Saturday's hot bets, let me tell you guys that I would just check in 15 to 20 minutes before each game, or just keep a browser page, like one tab open with my channel, and just refresh it about that time. Because when I see these different bets, they're not generally placed uh, days ahead for like props, because props is where I make all my money, and it's probably the easiest thing on which to bet and make a lot. However, I'll go ahead and give you guys a few games with which to look out. Um, I really like the Louisville NC State over, believe that or not. And the reason why is because I know what we've seen with Clemson and NC State, but Clemson's offense is completely different from that of Louisville. Um, Clemson has a present run game and doesn't include a whole lot of passing um, as much as that of Louisville. Um, Yeah, Clemson runs the ball a little bit more, and I think that is probably the biggest factor. Actually, right now the South Florida Temple game is going right now, so if you hear the TV, that's what it is. Um, but for the 12 o'clocks, it's currently 17, probably about to be 24. I have over 30 and a half for the first half. If I win, it'll probably be by half a point. But it's a cold bet, so it's not worth a lot. Um, but there are a few football games in which I do like. There are many bets to be placed, but there are a lot to be heavily considered first. um, the Probably the best one right now. If I were you guys, I would not take Oregon Cal over 88. I know it looks really good, but if you have one or two turnovers, then it can get out of whack very fast. Obviously, everybody likes it, of course, but I would probably rather take um, the plus or minus one spread. That might be a little better, or some props. But as far as Saturday goes, um, I'm really liking. Whew, I'm really liking the over 43 for the game against for Wisconsin, Iowa. I like with the Oklahoma State Kansas game. I like Oklahoma State minus 24, and South Florida scored a touchdown, so I'm only one touchdown away. Let's see. And then we have Rutgers, Minnesota. Obviously, I'm going to love Minnesota minus 18. I wouldn't do over under because I don't know if Rutgers can even score. They're about the most worthless team in the Big Ten. So, um, I do, however, like I said, I do like the NC State Louisville over 65. That's right, it's only 65, guys, and I really do like that. Um, Another one that might be somewhat of a, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Daggone. Okay, never mind. It's 23, so it'd be 30. But it's fine. It's not a huge deal for me. Win enough money anyway. So, um, ooh, here's a really good one. North Texas Army. I like that over 49. It shows minus 105 and then a minus 115 for the under. But we all know what that generally means early on in the week. That the it was probably lower than that, and everybody started going over, and that drove the. If you max the lines out too much, like you max bet this same thing, max bet, it's eventually going to drive that point total up or down depending on what you bet. Um, but I like that over 49. Um, Army alone should be able to score 5 touchdowns, and North Texas is not as bad as the sportsbooks think. I like that North Texas plus or plus 18, but I'd go with the over 49 before I'd go with that. Here's another good one. Syracuse Boston College under 51. I really like that one. Um, and then another one is North Carolina Virginia. I like the over 68. I know that's a lot of points, guys, but I honestly believe that North Carolina can score the number of points needed to get that. And their defense, if unless their defense shows up and is able to stop Virginia in any way, shape, or form, that should easily happen. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, the a safe, comfortable bet, but don't put too much on it, would be North Carolina minus 11. Um, Texas A&M, Alabama. A lot of people will not believe what I'm about to say, but plus 17 for A&M. I know Alabama, or plus 17 and a half. I know Alabama is dominant. I know they're good. However, Alabama is not that they're not beatable because I believe they're unbeatable up until maybe a couple teams, but Texas A&M will have a shot. They will. It won't be this bad. Texas A&M does have a pretty good defensive line, so the running game is going to be a factor. I would probably take the under for the um, I can't even remember the kid's name, and I bet on last week. Um, for the rushing yards for the running back under, I'd probably take that because I honestly, unless it's about 50 or 60, if it's close to 80 or 100 like it was last week, go under with that because that would be your best bet. TCU West Virginia over 65 in a heartbeat over 65. Okay, I'm gonna call that hot bet 65 over. And I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I'm not gonna place a bet just because I'm telling you guys the hot bet way too far ahead of time. Might place a small one, but not a big one. Um, and then here's a really good one of Memphis and Navy. And then the over unders 59. I love that over 59. I really do. Um, and here's another really good one. Eastern and Western Michigan. People don't know Western Michigan, one of the few undefeated teams outside of the Big Five. And yes, they do have a couple wins against the Power Five. I would take West because they'll probably have something on Western Michigan, and the over under 60. So I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be about 42 points. I'd say it's probably be 42 to 18, judging by the 24 and the 60. If the over under is 42, I'd probably take the over because Eastern Michigan hasn't been able to stop anybody outside of some of the pathetic teams in the MAC conference. So I really like Western Michigan. What if it is 42, which I believe it will be, based on the math? I would take Western Michigan over 42 or whatever it is um, for the game. Total points for them. Oh, and here's another good one. Not the best, but Charlotte at Marshall. I like Marshall minus 10.5 all the way. I know what their running game can do, and we know how bad Charlotte is about turnovers, and they have a terrible run defense. Um, Another one, Arkansas Auburn. Um, Believe this or not, I just like Arkansas plus 10, but I like the money line plus 320. I like Arkansas straight up at Auburn. I know that sounds crazy, but I like Arkansas to upset Auburn. I don't call it an upset because I believe Arkansas should easily be able to win this game. So if you're looking for a small bet to make some pretty big money, that'd probably be your best shot is Arkansas money line plus 320. Um, Oregon State Washington. Um, this will be this will be a game in which I would totally put something, but there's a huge problem. The spread is 36.5, and I know Washington could easily put up a, about 35 more, so that spread is a little too close for me to call. The over under scares me because Oregon State's not the best team at scoring. That becomes a problem for me. So I'm going to have some problems putting anything on that game. Um, Another one, Houston SMU. Now, these are the two teams that I think should have been eligible to join the Big 12, just because they've been two of the most dominant teams for the last I don't know how many years outside of the Big 12. Like Houston starting to make a presence known. SMU had an upset Fresno State in a bowl game 2013. It may have been 12, but it was during that bowl season, 2012 season, 2013 championship, whatever. It was about that time. SMU has shown that they can run the ball fairly decently, but I don't know if they can put up points against Houston's defense. That's the problem that I don't know. Um, the problem is, will the passing game be present for SMU? If it is, then SMU plus 21.5. If not, I would just take under 63 because I honestly don't believe SMU is going to score um, since I haven't seen anything passing wise that they can seriously do against Houston. I mean, some of the teams in which they could pass the ball drove their stats up through the roof. I mean, look at some of these teams who win against an FCS school, like say 70 to nothing. These teams, oh, you got to be kidding me. Wow. So 4 minutes left. It is officially a 29-point total game, about to be 30 if they kick the extra point. Just said that last touchdown, so um, I like. So yeah, I would have to say if you expect the passing game to come, and I mean I would probably research that a lot beforehand. If the passing game shows up, it's got to be plus 21.5. If they don't, under 63, because without passing, they can't score, and without scoring, that over's not going to happen because they have to put up their side of the table. Houston could put up 63 themselves, but that's kind of iffy right there because SMU is going to run the ball, which is going to run the clock, and that kind of gives me sort of a about it, I guess. I don't know, kind of like the Fonz a um, even though he goes a, I don't know. Ooh, 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 ooh. Here's one, guys. Here's a really good one. Old Dominion at Western Kentucky minus 14. Um, this minus 14 is gonna be a warm slash hot, which I'm not gonna verify if it's gonna be hot or not until tonight, since I already blew one that I probably should have saved. And then I don't really like anything until we get all the way to the Ohio State Penn State game. And I'm going to have to say under 57 points. Penn State will not score on Ohio State. That's going to be huge. Um, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, I could probably say over 85, but we know Oklahoma can play defense. We seen Texas Tech struggle last week against West Virginia. I had Shelton Gibson over four receptions for the game, had exactly four, and he dropped a couple, whatnot. I had the over 82, but Texas Tech did not hold up their side of the bargain because they had a couple turnovers and West Virginia's defense was there. So I would say if Oklahoma has a good enough defensive presence this game, you could virtually go under 85 and win that solidly. Um, Another one I like is LSU -7. That is right. I said LSU -7, and here's how. I expect Ole Miss to come out and dominate the first half, like they've been doing. They dominate the first half, and then Ed Orgeron, the coach he is, he's got a defensive mindset. He's able to just absolutely plan things defensively, stop the passing game. He's going to come up with several different defensive packages, several different cover packages, some man packages, and I really like how he throws the cover one spy robber. I really like that, especially when he did against Georgia, because that completely took Jacob Eason by surprise. I mean, against a spy robber, no freshman quarterback's going to figure out how to stop that because he doesn't know whether the safety's going to hold, whether the safety's coming. Your linebacker fires, and the other one goes back in coverage and goes with the running. It's just very hard to actually maneuver. So I think that a couple of these different packages is going to hold LSU and get them the points they need. Of course, they can play offense now. With Ed Orgeron, I think that this team is turning itself around, and I really like it. Of course, I'll take Ole Miss plus whatever for the first half. Chances are, if it was me writing the sports book, it'd be Ole Miss -7 for the first half and then LSU -7 for the game. And I'm dead serious with that because LSU is much better at this in the second half. We've seen even with Ed Orgeron just as a defensive coordinator, we've seen all he can do. Um, and then the last of mine, Washington State, Arizona State, guys. I love the over 64, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to do NFL, guys. There's really nothing for me except maybe a prop. I'll do a prop hot bet Sunday. Just keep an eye open for it. But until then, guys, if you're subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you can have access to the hot bets at any time, get notifications. And until then, thank you for watching the Shifty Sports Network, and good luck.